Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in Ohio in general, specifically Northeast Ohio? And you want to hear it from like a real perspective. And by real, I mean you don't want to hear it from someone who's lived here their entire life or was born and raised here and knows everything about Ohio and nothing else. I'm going to be your guy. I wasn't born and raised here. I'm a newbie here. We'll say a newbie, for example, but wasn't born and raised here. I didn't grow up here. And in fact, I didn't move here until I was in my mid-20s. So I'm going to give it to you from my perspective, things about I learned about Ohio that I wish I would have knew ahead of time. Just in general, my experience with it. You know, I lived in Michigan previously, and a lot of people ask me about, hey, what's the difference between Michigan and Ohio? And they ask, what do you like better? What do you like worse? Is there any big, huge difference since they're side by side? There's some differences. Some things are the same. But what I'll do is I'll give you kind of like the lowdown of it. I'll tell you what I don't like about it, what I do like about it, and just things that you're probably going to know about. And I'm going to cover that up next. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Justin Robleski with High Point Real Estate Group in Northeast Ohio. If this is your first time to my channel and don't even know who I am really, click on that subscribe button and click the little bell to be notified every time I post a new video. In this channel, I'm going to cover everything you want to know, whether it's talking about what to eat, what to do in Northeast Ohio, eat, sleep, breathe, work, anything you can imagine in the area, I'm going to cover it. Like I mentioned before, in this video, I'm going to cover things I wish I knew about. I'm going to educate you guys a little bit on stuff I didn't know when I moved to Northeast Ohio. I moved here, 15 years ago roughly? 15, 16? Yeah, I'm going on 16 years. But I wasn't born and raised here, so I didn't know anything about it. I moved from Michigan, and I'm going to tell you stuff that I didn't realize at first that you guys maybe didn't know yourselves. And maybe you want to learn some more about it from an outsider's perspective instead of someone that's been raised here their entire life. But if there's anything you need, if you want to reach out, you want to know anything about Northeast Ohio, you want to move here, invest here, want to buy, sell, anything you can imagine, hit me up anytime. Text me, call me, email me, Facebook, message me, LinkedIn, message me, Twitter, whatever works for you. I'm going to be available anytime for you. I constantly get calls from people right off of YouTube, just like you. Yo. What's up? That are looking to just do anything they can imagine with real estate in the area, and I absolutely love helping clients. I'm not your typical guy that this is a job to me. This is what I love to do, and I help every single one of my clients to the best of my ability, and I absolutely love working with them. So let's get moving up here, talking about the stuff I learned about Northeast Ohio by moving here. So first one is a lot of people ask about the weather. So I'm going to tell you what, man. The weather in Northeast Ohio compared to Michigan, it's really similar. There's not a big difference. Moving from a different state, it might be different. Who knows? But I'm going to tell you what you kind of expect. So let's start from, we'll go from the spring season. We're moving into spring here, March 20th. We're going to kick off some spring. You're going to be expecting probably some 50-degree temperatures. We'll have some days of 60 degrees. Maybe if we're even lucky, we'll have some 70-degree days. In that situation, you're going to have a decent amount of rain. That's going to be kind of muddy everywhere you go, but it is warming up, so we're going to enjoy that part of it. Now, when you move into the summer, it's going to be obviously a little bit different, just like a lot of areas are in the summer. We're going to start getting into the high 70s on a consistent basis, 80s, 90s. Sometimes we even hit hundreds. It can be a little extreme sometimes, but I've always told my wife, I said, listen, we had one year to where we had almost like a week straight of negative 30-degree temperatures. Every school in the area is shut down, business were shutting down. I said, after going through this, I said, I will never complain about the heat. I will take the sun and the heat any day over that negative crap. So in the summer, you're going to have a lot of lakes that you can go to. There's, a lot of different parks that you can go to in different counties and just lots of scenic stuff to see during the summer, which is awesome. Then, excuse me, then you're going to go into the fall where you're going to see temperatures kind of go back down to like spring temperatures, but we're going to start going reverse. So you're going to see 70-degree days, pretty common, and then you're going to start going down into the 60s and 50s. And fall likes to jack with us a little bit here. You're going to see all the cool leaves and stuff, color changing the leaves and all that. But the reason why it jacks with us is because you're going to get some days to where you think we're consistently in the high 50s, and then bam, like you're going to get like a freaking 20-degree day, and you're freezing your butt off, and you go from a t-shirt or maybe like a light jacket to where you're freaking wearing, jeans and a winter coat that day because you're freezing to death. So kind of sucks when we get those little curveballs thrown at us. But then you're going to go into the winter. Man, Ohio winter has been crazy lately. So either A, it feels like 36 inches of snow. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but we'll get like literally a day to where we'll get 8 inches of snow and overnight, sometimes more. And then literally we'll go several days and get nothing. It'll be sunny out. One thing I don't like about it is that it's cloudy all the time during the winter. So, I mean, it's just, if you like the sun and, you don't like winter, you're probably going to hate winter here because it's cloudy all the freaking time and it's cold and we get snow and all that crap. But then you'll be shocked. I literally had days in November and December to where we all of a sudden get a 75-degree day and everybody's loving it. But the problem is 2 days later, we're back at 12 degrees out. So, man, I wish you the best. There's no way around it. Weather's finicky here. It's crazy. You just got to get used to it. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you is there's a variation, especially in the winter, depending on your location you're at. So if you're up in the Cleveland area, compared to like an Akron and Canton area, Cleveland gets dumped on badly by snow. It's because the lake affects snow. Snow forms over the lake, everything freezes easier, and then the lake comes and drags it all over Cleveland and all of your far, far northeast Ohio areas. Compared to like the Akron Canton area, we'll get the big remnants of that, but while we may get 8 inches of snow, Cleveland may get 13 inches of snow. So it really depends on where you live. So it's just part of life here. We accept it. We deal with it. So the next thing I noticed about Ohio, and this part I absolutely love. So in Michigan, when I was there, the roadways sucked. Like you can see rebar on the roads, to where like the potholes are horrible, taxes are ridiculous, and the roads are kept like crap. In Ohio, most places, it's smooth sailing, man. They do a really good job keeping up the roads. Unfortunately, you'll deal with some construction that feels like it took 27 years to get done. In reality, it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Sometimes it's way more than it seems like it should be. But there is always a lot of roadway construction going on. But in turn, the roadways are pretty darn good for the most part. So that's a huge bonus, I would say. But you got to deal with a little construction for the headaches. When it comes to the roadways in general, what I do like about Ohio is Michigan is a little bit different for this. And like I said, I'm just comparing Michigan because that's where I came from. It might be a little bit different for you. But Ohio, they have different corridors. So you have like a 77 corridor, I-77, will lead you to the Ohio Turnpike. It also leads you to Route 8, which are 3 big expressways to where it'll get you many, many different parts of Ohio, pretty much anywhere you want to go for the most part. And then you get your offshoots taking you around. But I do like how the roadways are designed because there's main junctions that truly help you get where you want throughout the state. So it's kind of a nice design. I do like how they have it set up. So another thing about Ohio is if you are a sports fan, maybe you are, maybe you're not. Ohio people seem to be die-hard sports fans. Like the Cleveland Browns have notoriously sucked in football for several years now. But they've gotten a little bit better over the years. Some people think Baker Mayfield's the quarterback of the future. Other people think he's a joke and his receivers make him look good. Who knows, man? The Browns, the ownership, they're going to determine that on their own. But you got the Browns that have sucked over the years. You've got the Cleveland Indians of baseball that have been horrible. You got the Cleveland Cavaliers. When LeBron James was here, they did great. When he leaves, they suck. And all of a sudden, they're doing good again this year. But here's the thing. Everybody loves their Cleveland sports team. So, I mean, if you're a sports fan and you want those die-hard experiences and you want to be around the sports fans that love everything, Ohio is actually a great place for it. And then when you add in Ohio State, got Ohio State University down in Columbus, people are die-hard Ohio State fans. Like, people's literal life revolves around Ohio State during the season, Ohio State football. So it's hilarious to watch sometimes because people literally have the attitude, they're grumpy if Ohio State loses, and then they're thrilled if Ohio State wins, and then they'll stay like that for the whole week until like the following game on the next Saturday. So it's just, that part's baffling to me, but die-hard people love it. All right, so another thing is, if you have kids and you're a family, here's what I learned in Ohio. Daycare can be expensive. So, for example, we had our youngest one in daycare. I have 3 kids. My wife and I have 3 kids. We had our youngest one go through daycare. The other 2 didn't go through daycare, a little bit different circumstance. Not worried about that. But our 3rd one did go through daycare. be prepared for a good daycare. It is $50 a day pretty much. So you will spend $200 to $250 a week. A lot of daycares will cut you a break if you set them up for the entire week, Monday through Friday. They'll cut you a break, and it's not $50 a day, so you get a little bit cheaper. But a few years ago, we no longer have to do daycare because of our son's age and work schedules and things like that. And him going to school, in elementary school, we don't have to do daycare. But we were getting a break. I think we were paying like $210 or $205 a quarter, not a quarter, but a week, something like that. So we were paying a little bit over $800 a month. It's brutal, man. But I'll tell you what, daycares book up fast here, and especially the good ones. And the best thing I can say is if you're moving to an area, research the crap out of the daycares before you decide to move here so you know where you're going to put your kids, where they're going to go if you need a daycare. You can hit me up. I'd be happy to let you know. Yeah, if you want to call me, text message me, or whatever. I'd be happy to let you know which one we use. I have a great relationship with that daycare still, even though we don't use it. I have a great relationship with the people that work there. They were fantastic, and I would highly recommend them to everybody. But hit me up, and I will definitely let you know what they're all about and their location as well. But if you guys could do me a quick favor here, if you're liking this video, you're liking other videos I'm putting out, just like I mentioned before, give me a quick thumbs up. Definitely helps the channel, helps grow it for other people to see it and actually learn about the area and get to know things. And click on the subscribe button and click the little bell that notifies you anytime I pop a new video up. So appreciate it, supporting the channel. Very thankful for you. So continue on about Ohio. Now, Ohio has a little different pockets when it comes to neighborhoods. And what not necessarily neighborhood will say, but different things you're looking for. So you're going to go to certain parts of Ohio, like if you're going to go to big Akron suburbs or Canton suburbs or Cleveland suburbs, or even you got down south in Columbus suburbs and Cincinnati, Dayton, all over the place. In general, you're going to have cities and suburbs, and then you're going to have those places that aren't really per se suburbs, but are just like farmland. So yes, Ohio does have a lot of farmland. So the bonus of that is we get a lot of good produce, a lot of fresh produce, doesn't have to be imported a ton. So we do get cheaper produce, especially during the summer and the fall, and you get the fresh stuff. So you don't get the stuff that took, 3 weeks to get there, and they put a bunch of pesticides and preservatives on it to get it there. I mean, let's be real. There's probably pesticides and preservatives and crap on the stuff we eat anyways if it's not organic, but at least ours is fresher than what you're getting for weeks down the road. So, but on top of that, which here's kind of cool, is I actually have good friends of mine that they actually have chickens. So they have chickens and roosters that they actually have at their house in a neighborhood, and it's completely permitted in the city they're in. They absolutely love these things. They have tons of fun with them. Their kids love them. Very cool. I mean, it's kind of nice to pet a chicken. If you haven't ever held a chicken, when you pick it up, it's very, they seem like they can go a little bit crazy pecking at you and stuff, but they're pretty docile for the most part, and they're extremely soft. You almost feel like you could squish them to death, so you got to be kind of really careful in general. But enough about that. The other thing I like about Ohio here is pros and cons to this is Ohio actually does have lots and lots of jobs. There's so many different availability here, like so many different type of occupations here that have big booming industries, whether it's construction or you want to be in a technology company, or there's healthcare jobs galore in this area. If you're in a healthcare field, this is probably the area for you somewhere in Northeast Ohio. There's so many healthcare jobs available, or retail everywhere, or just everything you can imagine. I didn't realize how many different occupations you could have in Ohio and the availability that you can have in this area. So lots of openings there. The downside that I don't like about it, unfortunately, is there's not a whole ton of major corporations. So if you're like a corporate person that wants to work in a big corporate office and wants a cubicle and things like that, there's not a ton of those. There are a fair amount of companies, especially when you're like Cleveland or Columbus area, there's corporations, but Ohio is not so much about those big, large corporations with those big, fancy buildings. You're going to see a lot of smaller buildings, more mom and pop stuff, lots of corporations, but you're not going to have your big executive offices and things like that. That's just not very common in our area. It happens, but it's not as common as you imagine. So hopefully this educated you guys all. I mean, here's the thing. I can go on and tell you all the different pros and cons about Ohio and stuff that I do like about it and I don't. But we could be on this video for hours. So the best thing I can say for you is if you want to know more about it, you want to learn more about it, get educated, and really see where, like, what area would be best for you to live in, raise your family in, raise your kids in, work in and all that stuff. Best thing I say is reach out to me. Hit me up with a text, call me, Facebook message. Actually, I am shocked how many people Facebook message me from my YouTube channel. It's like I give my phone number and to text me or call me or even email me, and I actually get a lot of Facebook Messenger ones. A lot of people friend me and things like that. That's cool too. Whatever works for you, I'm good with. I'm a super open book. I'm going to tell you everything you want to know. I'm not the guy that's going to give you all fluff. I'm not going to just try and tell you all the great things. I'm going to be real with you, letting you know what I really think about everything, what my experience has been, what it's been like living here, moving here, buying houses here, selling houses here, and just doing everything here. I mean, it's the best way I can say it. I'll be real with you more than you can ever imagine. Sometimes I might be a little bit too real with you. You might not want to hear what I have to say, but I'm always going to tell you what you should hear and what's probably going to be best for you. So, like I said, hit me up, call me, text message me, email me. Let me know if there is anything I can do for you, and I'm out of here.